Yeah, yeah. What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 59 of the Hot Stove Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Nunez, here with the other three jokers that we do the show with every week. Couple things off the top before we get started. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hot Stove Pod. That's at Hot Stove Pod on Twitter. Here on the YouTube side, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good shit. What else? Oh, Popcorn Pillow Talk, the movie podcast that I'm doing. We really don't know what the hell happened with the most recent episode we filmed. Not 100% sure it's coming out. We were literally talking about that earlier today because we filmed something else for it today. Speaking of which, that something else is already out on YouTube. We filmed a reaction to the new Thor trailer, so go check that out as well. This is slowly going to become a reaction channel because the first two reactions we've done have like very quickly gotten up above like 600 plus views. So we're just like, might as well keep chugging away at the reaction thing. The Stranger Things one has been out for a week and it just crossed 600 today. So that was cool.
Nice.
But anywho, reaction for the new Thor trailer is out now over on the YouTube channel. Podcast, I had no clue what the hell we're doing with the podcast moving forward, but there will be more episodes. And hopefully the Morbius review comes out because that was 45 minutes of comedy gold on my part. Because I just screamed and yelled about the whole thing for close to an hour. Like that movie sucks, and it was fun to be mad at it. Personally, I did write a review for Everything Everywhere All at Once over on Grapevine Media. Check that out as well. It's the best movie of 2022, and I would be genuinely very surprised if anything else comes and tops it. You can read why in the thing that I wrote. I won't get into that here.
Great review. I read it. Great review.
Shit, thanks. Check out all of Mark's stuff as well.
Yeah.
What's in the Box Score with Rick Weiner and Outside the Box Score on Colorcast every Friday at 2. And now that we're done. Yeah,
sorry. Well, I plug in. Me and Mark are starting an OnlyFans page.
Oh yeah. Mark and Josh are starting an OnlyFans page as well, where they do sexually explicit things to sexually explicit pictures of athletes.
That's right. Hey, all you athletes out there that are thinking.
First feature is going to be about Hope Solo. Actually,
dude, straight dudes doing straight things together. Our OnlyFans page. Check it out, dude.
Bingo.
I just wanted to plug something, to be honest with you, other than my butt.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we got a couple things to talk about today. First of which being an update on some stats that I got last year. The most meaningless stat that nobody cares about except for us.
It's my favorite stat. The
average age of people who have hit home runs on opening day in Major League Baseball in the last decade plus.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mouthful, I know, but I'm going to share my screen here. You should be able to see this, right? Right? I have no idea.
There's nothing there yet.
Okay, give me a second. I'm going to try and get this thing to work, all right? I swear I'm going to do it. I swear to God. This is awesome podcasting, by the way.
This is fantastic.
All right, boom. Okay, never mind. Basically,
wait, what's what form is it in?
It's on a notes thing. I'll send it to you, Mark. It's not going to work because you don't have a Mac.
I was going to say if you want to take a screenshot of it and send it to me.
Never mind. All right, well, I'll just talk about it, okay?
Okay.
So last year, basically the start of this is that opening day last year, we thought to ourselves, it seems like a bunch of old guys are hitting home runs today. That seems weird, basically, right? Mm-hmm. Miguel Cabrera hit the first home run of the season last year. Buster Posey, Evan Longoria.
Asdrubal Cabrera, Stephen Vogt.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't know why I remember that, but I do.
Those are both old people who hit home runs last year. Mm-hmm. So I went back and did painstaking research into the average age of people who hit home runs on opening day back to 2012 and found out that 2021 was the oldest year by a considerable margin, by over a full year on median, than any other year in the previous decade. The average age of somebody who hit home run on 2021 opening day, and this is the first game of the year for every team.
Yes.
Not specifically on opening day, but the first game of the season for all 30 teams. There were 30 total home runs hit on opening days in 2021. The average age was 30. There were 7 players over the age of 34 who hit home runs on opening day last year, which really hiked up the age. And like I said, the oldest was Miguel Cabrera, the youngest being Dylan Carlson, who hit a home run on opening day last year. So I figured might as well update it for this year as well. So 2022, there were 30 total home runs hit on opening day, which is the same as there was last year. The mean age is down from 30 to 28.2. The median 29 and mode of 29. Loosely, the majority of players who hit home runs on opening days this year were 29-30. That was
Okay.
en masse. 28 through 30 was really the bell curve. There's more of a pronounced more of a pronounced bell curve on the stats this year. So, for example, the min is up a little bit from the last few years. Juan Soto was the youngest player to hit a home run on opening day this year. He's 23 years old.
Jesus.
Thought he was 19.
Previously, we've had
Him and
players
Tatum,
as
yes.
young as 20 is the youngest in the last decade. That was Bryce Harper in 2013, if anybody was wondering. But on the flip side, the oldest player to hit a home run this year on opening day was 33, which is by far, if I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, no opening. Actually, the only other player that was below 35 and the oldest player to hit a home run on opening day was Chase Utley in 2013. Everybody else to do it has been 35 or older. This year it was Brandon Belt, who at 33 years old hit a home run on opening day, just barely edging out DJ LeMahieu, who's also 33, but by like a month younger. There were 4 players age 32, 2 age 31, and 3 age 30 who hit home runs this year. So again, you see that plateauing towards the lower end of that maximum spectrum. Whereas contrasted with the years like 2012, for example, where you had 2 players over the age of 36 hitting home runs in Carlos Lee and Raul Ibanez. This year, you had about 10 players between the age of 30 and 33 hitting home runs on opening day this year. So generally speaking, the age is down a little bit. I don't really know what any of these numbers mean.
Nothing. It's
very fair
for us.
I don't really think they mean anything.
No.
But they are meaningless in a very fun kind of way. If you know what I mean.
Agreed.
All right.
So
I'm in.
that's that. What else? Now I've got trivia. Yes, Josh.
Well, sorry about that. While we're on our opening day talk, I did have one question if you wanted me to go first, and it has to do with opening day.
That sounds
that
fantastic.
I'd kept from a couple weeks ago. So I'll phrase it like this. The Machine was starting his 22nd straight opening day. 22nd straight. 3 other players have done that. Who are they? Who have started 22 straight opening days?
Willie Mays?
Mays.
No.
Oh, no.
Hank
No.
Aaron.
That's one of them.
Yeah, Mays was military service, so
Respect the troops.
Guys, I got my first trivia point of the year on that one. Just like,
hell yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
One more than me.
Cal?
Who'd you say?
Cal Ripken?
That was a good guess.
Yeah, honestly, when I was shocked that it wasn't.
22 is a lot. That's
it is a lot of years.
Yeah. 2 players have done it 22 times, and one of them have done it 23 times. 23 straight, I should say.
Can you give us like eras for the players or
Yeah, they're damn. All right. So I mean, they're players who you would know. I mean, I know them. It's hard to give hints for me for some of these
Josh
guys.
knows them. That's a pretty
Yeah,
Babe
I mean,
Ruth.
It is that elk of player. Mark's gonna kill himself when he hears the one of them.
Ted Williams.
No,
but
military
you're
service.
in the right.
Carl Yastrzemski.
Bingo.
Oh, duh. Yes.
That's
of
the
course.
one. And then if I were doing it, I'd kill myself if I didn't get it.
Pete Rose.
There it is. I mean, those were just. I mean, I'm
that's-
terrible at hints. I mean, how do you hint Pete Rose or yes for that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I should give
gotten
a decade.
This guy happens to be the all-time hits leader. Who is?
Oh.
I
This
don't
man
know.
was banned for betting on baseball.
Yeah.
It
I
ain't
should've
true
gotten
with Joe
Yaz.
Jackson.
I saw a thing the other day, may have been earlier today, about how Yaz is like one of the few players to play 20 plus seasons for the same team or something like that.
Mhm.
I should have gotten that.
Yeah.
But, those were the
You
three.
should have
Josh?
gotten that.
Yeah.
You did get it.
I know. I'm sorry. Josh, those were the three. So those were the three players. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Rose was the one who did it 23 times.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So I've got 2 baseball questions and 1 basketball question. We'll start with America's pastime here. I've got 2 questions for you, 1 Yankees related, 1 not Yankees related. So I saw this one on the Yankees broadcast. It's got great trivia because they do trivia every single game.
Mm-hmm.
And this one I saw and I thought it was pretty interesting. So there are 2 players who have won an MVP with an AL East team and then played for the Yankees after they did that.
Okay.
So they've won an MVP with an AL East team, with a different AL East team, and then went to play for the Yankees afterwards. Why don't you tell me who those 2 players are?
Roger Clemens, 1986.
Correct.
And
we didn't need the. Okay. Did we need the year? Did we need the year?
I had to make up for the
Come on.
fact I didn't get Yaz. And
I'll tell you, jump. He is more recent than Roger Clemens.
yeah.
Me has a feeling he's also a Red Sox.
No, he did not win it with the Red Sox.
Wow.
Because Mo Vaughn was the first one that came to mind, but he never played for the Yankees. He played for the Mets.
Never counted out. Everyone played for the Yankees.
Dude, the Rays even have an MVP? I don't think they do.
That's what I just was thinking about the Blue Jays. I was like, there's no goddamn way. All right, so what loser came up in like the late 90s with Baltimore or something?
What an amp.
Hopped over. Somewhere Palenberry is just yelling at this. At
Yeah,
his
I
YouTube
know.
page right now. How do they not know?
How do they not know Poo Poo Pee Pee McGee?
They forgot PP.
I feel like I'm forgetting a couple MVPs is the problem.
I don't think I could name anybody but Yankee players.
I feel like it's a guy from the 90s.
I like that. I like that idea. 90s MVPs. Honestly, Mark, I've been praising you to people asking lately when I tell stories. Oh, yeah, this guy knows every ball player back to the 40s. We don't get a 90s MVP. Come on now. I mean, the box score's taking a hit on this.
Just think about the question again.
Score.
A player that's won an MVP with a different AL East team and then played for the Yankees afterwards.
Right.
Current AL East?
The team is currently in the AL East. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's to say? Who even knew there was a different AL East? What? There's a different makeup.
Before the wild card era, it was.
Back in Mark's heyday, there was a different.
Before the wild card era, it was a whole thing.
Right. I mean, I'm
See, 90s MVPs are hard for me to remember because of all the steroid guys. It's like,
It's
yeah,
not
this
a
guy
90s MVP.
was
more recent. What the fuck?
What's his fucking name? What's the Miguel Tejada?
No,
he won it for the A's.
Damn it!
Moneyball, man.
He won an MVP though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
02 with the A's.
That's not bad. I mean,
That's not
played for the Orioles and the Yankees. Won MVP. I mean,
I don't think he played for the Yankees.
Oh, did he not?
No.
All right, well then.
I'm drawing a major blank right now.
Yeah, I'm about to call it. Before I embarrass myself.
I got it.
God, it's Josh Donaldson.
I was
Christ.
just gonna do a whole thing because I figured it out, and then
Josh Donaldson.
got it.
All right. Well, because Austin was going to do a
You can
bit,
give it to Austin.
I will give it.
No.
Yeah.
No, give it to Austin.
I was thinking about newer players on the roster, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
Well, the problem is I couldn't give any more hints.
because
My
if you
next
said
hit was just going to be. Well, my next hit was just going to be. Remember, I saw this on a Yankees game like a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that usually the questions have to do with current
And
things.
then I was just going through their
surrounding
lineup
the
in my
Yankees.
head, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy won the 2015 MVP. That's
Yeah.
great.
So, I got another question for you.
Okay.
Last year, 2021, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. became the 6th player aged 22 or younger.
Juan Soto.
Let me finish. The 6th player aged 22 or younger to slash 300, 400, 600 in a season.
Juan Soto.
Who are the other 5? On default, because you both jumped the gun, I'm giving Mark the point for Juan Soto.
Oh yeah, Mark needs all the fucking points he can get.
Don't cheat. How about that? Don't cheat. Juan Soto did it twice. He did
I
it
didn't
in
even know
his
the
age
answer.
21 season and his age 22 season.
I was just copying Mark.
I
Bryce
should give
Mark
Mark 2 points for that.
That's like that guy's a freak. He did it twice.
Bryce Harper is correct.
Yep.
Woo!
Mike Trout.
Nope.
Oh,
Wow.
he didn't slug 600 or something the year he won Rookie of the Year.
I will go check it right now, but
You might not have had the on base. Actually, that might be it.
I already had to do some fact checking because the original list that was given to me didn't include Mike or Juan Soto, and I knew that was false, so I had to go fact check it already. And yeah, no, he never quite slugged 600.
Oh, okay.
Like a minimum,
give you a hint
games
off the bat.
requirement.
I feel like this goes way back, so I'll say Ted Williams.
Ed Williams is one of them.
Yeah, and 41. Yeah.
No, probably not actually. Slugging 600 actually is.
This is a very out there guess, but Tony Canigliaro?
Mark, I'm going to respond to that by saying, who?
He was a guy that played for the Red Sox in the 60s. He was a great young player, like almost won MVP in his age 21 season, I want to say. Then he got hit in the eye by a pitch and was never the same.
Okay, well, it's not Tony Canigliaro or whatever the hell.
The guy from the Astros, Jordan Alvarez.
No, so I'll give you the next hint is that both of them played their entire career and obviously did this before the desegregation of public schools in the United States.
1954?
Yeah.
JK, it's way later than that.
Yeah. It's unfortunately way later than that.
Yeah, significantly later.
I was just thinking Brown versus the Board of Education.
I'll give you that. Well, they both did it before Brown v. Board. I'll give you the years. 1937.
Jesus Christ. All right, Mark.
Yeah.
Here we
get him.
go.
1937, and then the other guy did it twice in 1921, or I'm sorry, 1929 and 1930.
Lou Gehrig?
Nope.
No, he was well past that age then.
Yeah. Sorry. God. Yeah, fuck me.
Hank Greenberg?
Nope.
Those are interesting years for this to happen.
29 and 30 and 1937. The 2-point players. Otherwise known as rarefied air.
Yeah.
Man, in 29-30, he was probably the only kid that age that wasn't malnourished from the Great Depression. So
That was good. That was a good one. Yeah.
Trying to think of guys
They're
that.
both Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
No
I'm sure
way.
they are, but
Yeah, all you had to do is breathe on a baseball in the 1930s, and you're a Hall of Famer. So
Pre-segregation, white guy. I mean, come on
yeah,
now.
so you're definitely a Hall of Famer.
Come on.
I see. The problem is everyone back then was born, and then 10 years went by, and they were 38. So, like, you know, it's hard to remember how old guys were back then. Because
I'll give you
all
this in Austin terms here. The guy who did it in 29 and 30 died at the age of 59 in Miami, Florida in 1967.
He Jose Fernandez
Mhm.
himself.
and not
Miami.
nearly that young.
Yeah, I just don't.
I don't know who would have been rookies and second-year players in that.
Well, and I didn't say they were rookies and second-year players.
Well, okay.
1929 and 1930 were technically this player's 5th and 6th years in the major leagues.
Oh, I thought they
Okay.
did it. Jesus H.
Is it
For example,
who's the guy that played for the Reds that was like 16? Is
it's
it
not
him?
him.
Okay.
Again,
He might
think
have been-
bigger than that.
he might have
Not
been a
some
pitcher
guy who
anyway.
played for the Reds at 16. Think
Ty
bigger.
Cobb.
No.
No.
Roger Hornsby.
There you go.
It is not Rogers Horns.
Ralph Kiner.
Nope.
Be the kind machine.
You two are hitting either side of this like this era.
We're right on it.
You're like right before it and right after it.
Give me Roger Maris. That's got to be after.
Nope.
No.
That
Well
was
after.
afterwards. Yeah.
45? 55?
He hit 61 home runs in 1961.
Oh, Jesus. That guy's wasn't even alive yet.
Joe DiMaggio?
Joe DiMaggio is one of them. Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
my God. I guess, Garrick, you shot me down so quick. I was like, well, I guess the Yankees are not. I don't know if
I told you, think bigger.
Yeah. Then Lou Gehrig? I mean, the Iron Man?
I mean, Jesus.
So DiMaggio and American League or National League?
American League. Joe DiMaggio was the one that did it once. The last guy was the guy that debuted at 17 and did it twice in his age 21 and 22 seasons.
Debuted at 17. Jesus. $29 and $30. You said American League?
Yes. Played the majority of his career with 2 teams, and then finished it out with a couple other teams that no one cares about.
We got a position for him? Would that give it
First
away?
baseman.
It's not giving me any hints. Maybe I gave it to Mark. I don't know.
I'm drawing a blank. I really am.
All right, I'm officially tapped.
Yeah, I don't have it tonight, boys.
All right. The answer is Jimmy Fox.
Oh. I didn't realize he was that young then. Like I said, he's one of those guys. Every time I've seen a picture of Jimmy Fox, I'm like, that guy's 50.
Yeah. Died at the age of 59 in Miami, Florida. Anywho,
I don't even know
All
who
right.
Jimmy Fox is.
that's a point for the house.
He played for the Red Sox. I should have thought of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anywho.
you should have known that 1931 stud. How
He had, like,
dare you?
540 home runs. He was a stud.
Anywho, on to the basketball one.
Gary Payton.
No.
Juan
No.
Soto.
There's nothing to do with either of those. It's not Juan Soto. All right. A couple weeks ago, this is from a while ago, but a couple weeks ago, DeMar DeRozan had a 50-point game right before the
Tracy
the-
McGrady.
Let me finish.
It's
DeMar-
definitely Tracy.
DeMar DeRozan became the sixth player in Bulls history with a 50-point game. Other than Michael Jordan.
Damn it.
Oh, man.
Name the other four. I'm not going to give you a free point for saying Michael Jordan.
It's Scottie Pippen.
No.
Derrick Rose.
Nope.
Joakim Noah.
Nope.
Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine.
Levine's correct.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman.
oh,
Notorious point scorer Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, known scorer of points, Dennis Rodman.
Either Eric or Ben Gordon.
Neither.
Did either of them play for the Bulls?
Ben Gordon did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one.
Patrick Williams.
That guy's
No.
like a second-year player.
I know he is.
I'm choking on a piece of fried rice.
Don't die, brother.
Oh. While Josh is dying.
Yeah. All right, we've got two more. Because the last one you guys will never get. I'm
Jamal
certain.
Crawford?
Jamal Crawford is right, Josh. I don't know where the hell you pulled
Great
that
one.
out of.
Yeah,
Was that the one you said I'd never get?
No. There is one that you'll truly never get. But
Oh, damn, I really hoped it was that one.
Artis Gilmore.
no. Artis Gilmore was a Hall of Famer, sure. But
I'm just throwing out random Bulls guys.
Nikola
NyQuil
Vucevic.
Jordan.
I'm sorry, what the hell did you just say, Mark?
As a NyQuil Jordan.
No.
NyQuil.
So, fun fact for you. by
Have
the
you
way,
never seen that?
Jamal Crawford actually had 4 50-point games in his career. Likely, I assume, the only player in NBA history with 50-point games for 4 different teams.
That's why I guess I've seen this shit.
His 50-point game for the
LeBron?
Bulls came as a third-year player in 2004. He scored 50 against the Raptors. Other
It's
50 games,
LeBron's
including
team.
January of 2007 as a member of the New York Knicks, December of 2008 as a member of the Golden State Warriors, and then April of 2019, the final day of the season, as a member of
New
the
York.
Phoenix Suns.
That's NyQuil Jordan, by the way.
Okay.
He played. I'm sorry, I thought he played for the Bulls. He played for the Chicago Bulls.
Understandable.
Classic
It was an honest
mix-up.
mistake.
Yeah.
Classic.
The final player here, is still currently playing in the NBA.
Oh, really? Huh? Oh, really? You know, the way he said that makes me believe he's not a member of the Bulls anymore.
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Huh.
Former
Former
Bulls.
Bulls.
Goran Dragic.
50.
Goran Dragic, I don't think ever played for the Bulls.
Or no, who's the other one? Who's the white European point guard that played for the Bulls?
Tomas Satoransky?
No, I don't think this guy's in the NBA anymore. I always get Goran Dragic mixed up with him. Kirk Heinrich.
Zoran Dragic.
No, I always get Goran Dragic and Kirk Heinrich mixed up.
Yeah, one of them
Dude,
is
that's
actually good. The other one is named Kirk Heinrich. So
Yeah.
no.
Whoa.
Not
Whoa.
Kirk.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler is correct, Austin.
Oh, yeah, that was way.
Oh yeah, that's a layup.
The one you guys would have never gotten is a fellow by the name. He is a Hall of Famer. Is a fellow by the name of Chet Walker.
Chet Walker. Oh my gosh, I just had it.
I can't tell if he was just saying
I
it.
can't tell
after
because
you said
that's. I'm so confused. Anyways, Chet Walker scored 56 points on February 6, 1972, against the Cincinnati Royals. So,
Are you sure it wasn't Artis Gilmore?
I'm certain it wasn't Artis Gilmore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
The Cincinnati
Dude.
Royals, you say?
I'm gonna have to look this Ben Gordon performance up. I think he had 40 something.
He might have. Yeah.
Right after they got out of Rochester. Went over to Cincinnati.
Yeah. So Ben Gordon's highest scoring total was 45 against the Nuggets I'm sorry, 48 against the Bucks in 2007. So he was 2 points off. Yeah. So close, but no cigar. So yeah, that's that. Now that we're a half an hour into the show, let's start the show. Am I right, everybody? So the first thing we're going to be talking about today is just the first week of Major League Baseball. We're about a week and a half into the season. I just want to talk about some stuff that we've noticed, right? So I figured, each of us have come away with at least one big takeaway, I would assume. I know for myself, and I'll start here. Maybe it's a bit of homerism, right? And I've been having a good amount of fun talking with people the last few days about how this season's going to go exactly as planned for the Yankees, which means that they're going to win like 12 games in the first 6 weeks, and everybody's going to freak out. And then by the end of July, they're going to be a game back of the division. Then they're going to make the playoffs and get swept in the ALDS. It's just going to happen that way. And we're right on schedule for that. I will say with the royal the world is right on schedule for that to happen. I said before the weekend series started against Baltimore, I said there is no chance the Yankees don't drop. I said the Yankees are dropping 203 to the Orioles this weekend. Not only that, I said specifically they're going to get torn apart by Bruce Zimmerman, who threw 5 scoreless against them on Sunday. So it's rounding into form in the early season. And it's just frankly annoying that Brian Cashman is the worst executive known to humankind. Because it's like, not exactly. I mean, there are others that exist.
There are certainly worse.
He might take the award for most frustrating, though. Because
Probably.
You got all the money on the globe, right? You're the Yankees. So you know what they do? They sacrifice. Well, they don't actually sacrifice anything because they trade away their one guy who can hit for average for another guy who can hit for average, but then they put him in Gio Urshela for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. But then they put Kiner-Falefa at a position which he's defensively, in the hopes of having better defense. They put him at a position defensively in which he is below replacement at defensive wise. Meanwhile, third base is there, a position which he quite literally won the Gold Glove for in 2020. But they can't put him there because they decided to take on the $50 million salary of a guy in Josh Donaldson, who effectively just replaces Gary Sanchez, but with a better batting average, I guess. But he's also probably going to play half the games that even the starting catcher for the team would play. Loosely speaking, the one problem I do have with that, even though I do think Josh Donaldson's a good player, blah, 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 yada, yada, he makes the lineup better, whole thing, right? Is I fear that the problem that they're going to have is that I genuinely think that injuries beget injuries on a team. It's just the law. It's just the way you see like how staff works, right? So like say a couple people are hurt, then Aaron Judge gets nicked up here or there, or Josh Donaldson gets nicked up here or there. There are only so many people on the team's medical staff. So if they're spending so much time on these players who consistently get injured, then you run into the problem of like they're not necessarily there to help with the daily bumps and bruises of other players, which then could lead to them getting hurt. That's all a mess. And shocker, the team is just digging itself further into the hole that they've dug the last few years in terms of the roster construction. I mean, it's just the same thing, just swapping out a couple players every year. At least Nestor Cortez is good. All right. That's all I'll say. That's what I'll say. Nasty Nestor. He's nasty. Yeah, 5 shutout with 12 Ks on Saturday. Yeah. That guy's got a porn stash for the ages. And
oh yeah.
He's nasty. But other than that, I mean, you're just analyzing the Yankees from a bird eye view, right? Like this is just gonna be it's like that Ayaz song,
Replay.
Correct. Shawty's like a melody in my head. Yeah. That song. It's like Groundhog Day, but in baseball form because this team is.
Wasn't he a brother of someone famous?
I have no idea. No
I'm gonna go check that out.
No idea.
Am I echoing?
no,
Yes.
I am.
I can't hear
What?
it. But anywho, we're just watching the same thing over and over again, and it's frustrating. It's not even frustrating from the sense of like, oh, you're the Yankees, you should be winning championships. I don't really subscribe to that, especially because I don't really care about the fact that the Yankees won 26 championships before I was born. Like that is no
Right.
Yeah.
There's no it doesn't reflect on me at all as a fan. I don't really care. It frustrates me just from an organizational perspective. Like they have shown no willingness to actually get better. They're just running their head into the same wall they've been running it into for the last 5 years, and it's just really frustrating. So yeah, it's like the Sabres, but the Sabres have been doing it for 15 years at this point. So
They got a lot of good young talent, man.
yeah, we say that every few years or so about the Sabres.
No. Last year was
It's
only
the thing that
Rask.
it's the Stockholm syndrome.
I remember when Jack Eichel was that good young talent.
Jack
Exactly.
Eichel's a fucking squid. He's a bitch. What do you want me to say?
Okay. Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
yeah,
build
you're
a
right.
team around a pansy boy.
Flashback 4 or 5 years ago and tell that Josh the same thing, and he probably would have laughed in your face.
I was lying to myself like everyone else, thinking that he could have been
Exactly,
the
and you're currently lying to yourself about this Sabres team. That's the point. That's the point that I'm making.
No.
That it's all a cycle. If you have the same incompetent people running the team over and over and over again, the cycle is just going to repeat itself.
Right. A little different. To me, if the Sabres had a goalie for 2 months of the season, they're like 10 points out of the playoffs right now.
That's really good to be 10 points out of the playoffs.
Yeah, still not a good team.
I mean, the Islanders are a pretty solid team.
Still like a very bad.
All right. Can we stop?
Honestly, I personally believe that the Yankees will be successful hitting only solo home runs as their only run producing thing. And
yeah, I honestly agree. I think it can take them to a World Series for sure.
Oh yeah, those 4 solo home runs a game are going to do them wonders.
That's lucky. That's
a good get. That's a good day.
Yeah.
I actually think they should also, on days that Garrett Cole's supposed to pitch, have an opener because he doesn't know what a first inning is. He seems to.
Sure. Hey, it started 4 minutes late, Austin. All right. On opening day, it started 4 minutes late.
All right.
Let's cut the guy some slack here.
Billy we're talking about
taking entirely too long.
We want to talk about the Yankees roster construction. We're going to not mention the fact that, again, Josh Donaldson's making $50 million, but they can't figure out how to give Aaron Judge a blank check. That's
well, he also wants 9 years and he's 30.
I don't care. Give him all the money and all the years. I don't care.
I mean, that's fair.
What direction does the franchise have if not Aaron Judge?
You got Stanton.
He's 2 years older.
It's the same thing though. They're the
no,
same.
It's not.
You're signing a younger guy to do the same thing.
It's not the same thing. Anywho, who else has a thing to talk about?
I've got
I've got one big one here. It might not be popular. Everyone might boo me. I don't know what to tell you. April baseball means absolutely nothing. And everybody needs to shut the hell up.
You should have gone after we went.
You follow any fan page of any team right now, and they've declared themselves the winner, the loser, the worst team in the league, the best team in the league, off of 5 games. It's unbearable.
Hey man, 10 games. All right.
I've seen people memeing the Dodgers when they were 1-2, saying "LOL, last in the division. You guys stink."
That's
and
fun.
Now they are 7-2 at the top of the division. I mean, it's outrageous. I've seen Tigers fans calling the season over because they only won 1 game in 2 straight series against the Red Sox and White Sox. I mean, I can't take anybody seriously. And the Cubs are above 500. Doesn't that show everybody that this shit doesn't matter?
Hey man, they have Frankie 2 hits.
They do.
First of all, and second of all, Seiya Suzuki is the stud of studs. So
I also think that people kind of run into like the other sport narratives and try and apply it to baseball. Like the better team just doesn't win in baseball as often as other sports. Like
And baseball is
Just-
the ultimate law of average
Yeah.
sport. That's how that
Mhm.
works.
So people just get completely mind fucked when like
Yeah.
a bad team wins like 6 games.
Yeah, I can't stress enough that baseball is the most granular sport out there, which just means that more random things are going to happen on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. That's basically that.
Mhm.
Yep.
Josh, would you like to go?
Yeah,
Here we
my one big takeaway.
Hunter
from-
Green is the best pitcher in Major League Baseball.
I mean, he's going to turn a lot of heads this year. Definitely gets people watching. He's like Jabba when he came up. Is what I'm
Except
thinking of.
he throws a lot harder. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was bumping.
And
100
probably isn't that similar. But anyways.
in terms of just a guy who fucking threw heat. I remember that was like his thing coming up. I thought.
There's
I don't know if I had to
many
take
other
one.
there are so many other guys you could.
What about
didn't have his
former Red
Jobby.
Aroldis Chapman?
All right.
Yeah,
be
but
quiet.
he's a closer. I guess Jabba was a reliever too. What do you guys want me to say here?
I
Fuck
agree
you.
with you, Josh.
You know what my
That-
take is?
hey,
Baseball fucking sucks. Okay, I'm playing the show right now. Who cares? Give me football back again. I'm waiting for OTAs. I'm worried about Ayuk sitting out of training camp. Baseball still can't get me to watch. The Angels are not good. I picked the Angels to be great. They stink. That's my take. That Austin just
They're
told
in
me doesn't
first
matter.
in the AL
They
West.
stink. Go, Mark.
The heel turn.
That's just the take. The take. Baseball sucks.
Baseball,
Appreciate that,
bad
Josh.
sport. I've got a couple. One is about Saya Suzuki, who you just mentioned. While I do think he's going to be great, I think everyone needs to slow down the hype train a little bit, just because how many times have we seen a guy come over from a different country and then rake for the first month of his season, and then pitchers make adjustments? So we'll see. I do think he's going.
Blanket.
No, I think he's
Okay,
going to
fine.
be a great player, but everyone already putting him in the MVP conversation. Let's slow down a little bit here. The Cubs
mean,
are
I think
still
he
going to be
said,
bad.
If the season
he
ended
said-
today, he'd be one of the guys in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, that's great.
Feels
Don't
like
award
you,
an MVP after 8 games.
Feels like you said something pretty ultra specific and then said, "How many times have we seen this?"
Well, I mean, we saw it with Yasiel Puig. We've seen it with Jung Ho Gung, who came over and played for the Pirates. He was the
Jung
Pirates
Ho
third
Gun?
baseman who got he was the Pirates third baseman a few years ago who got like 4 DUIs in Korea. He came
Nice.
over here and raked for the Pirates for like 2 months, and everyone freaked out, and then he ended up stinking because he wasn't very good. So we've seen it a few times in recent years. There's another. Oh, Jorge Soler was like that until he had a career resurgence in Kansas City, but it looked like he was a lost cause after his first month of the season. So
I'm still caught up on the fact that Mark made up Jung Ho Kung.
I didn't. I'm pretty sure that's his name.
It's kind of cringe to make up players.
Now I gotta. I'm
Mark
almost
making up
positive
players
that
to
was
fit his narrative.
Yeah,
Can't believe it.
definitely pretty cringe.
Can't believe it. Cringe
Oh, wait.
and
that's wrong.
blue pilled for sure.
Jung Ho Kung.
I, for one, am based and red.
Third baseman for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Boom.
Yeah. It's crazy how you'd fabricate an entire Google search just to fill your narrative, Mark.
He got third place in Rookie of the Year that year. He made it 287.
Yeah, and then
That sounds
fell
pretty
off
good.
a cliff.
It seems 128 games batting 287 seems a little bit more than the first month of the season, but that's beside the point, Mark.
Yeah, he was good for longer than I thought he was. So I will take that back. But no, I think he'll be a great player, but let's not crown him quite yet. It's 10 games into the season. But at the same time, I think we all were too low on the Giants coming into the season.
I think we should definitely crown Garrett Whitlock as the best pitcher in Major League Baseball.
I did that many moons ago, my friend.
Yeah.
I
Um,
refuse to crown the Giants.
I don't know who that Suzuki guy is or this Garrett Whitlock character.
Okay.
Thanks, Josh.
I'm sorry.
Dynamite.
Dynamite. When's AJ Brown getting traded? That's all Josh
Yeah,
wants to
dude.
know.
The hot deets.
All Josh wants to know is whether or not Cedric Wilson is going to be lighting it up this preseason. That's
For
what he
the
wants to know.
Dolphins, man, he's dead to me.
No, but my other takeaway is I think the Giants are a lot less fluky than we all assumed they were going to be. That pitching staff.
You got a mouse in your pocket?
Well, a lot
Tell
of
me what the difference between the Giants and the Brewers is. You can't.
Giants have a better offense.
No, they don't. It's a fluky offense. Look at the names. They all suck.
Well, it's not fluky.
Jock Peterson bats fourth. He's going to bat 150.
That's not true. That's not good.
That's
not
true.
true.
That's 100% true.
Guaranteed. Austin's already seen the script for the season, unfortunately.
Who's this guy playing second base for this team? Thairo Estrada?
Yeah, he's a
Hey,
kid.
that's Yankees legend, Thairo Estrada.
That's
All right.
loser. Brandon Crawford, 55 years old. Wilmer Flores couldn't even make the starting roster for the Rays. I mean, what are we talking about?
That's a different guy.
Yeah, that's a different.
You're
one.
thinking of Willie Adames, who
Yeah.
plays for the
Same
Brewers
thing.
coincidentally, but yeah.
Yeah, these guys all stink. These guys couldn't make my high school baseball team, and we're calling them non-fluky.
I
don't buy
highly
it.
doubt that.
I don't buy. We were pretty good. We came in second in our sectional final. So
That's
I don't.
true.
And how many of those guys play in the major leagues?
Well, we all had different interests. That's really
Yeah. Hey, Mark, you don't need to be talking good about the Giants. The Tigers have it all figured out with Javi
Yeah.
Baez. All right.
Yeah, that's
You know,
Isn't he on
Yeah, I
the
saw
IL?
the stats today. The Tigers are all top 5 in like 7 major base or offensive categories. You know, they got fluky outs. They hit hard balls hard and they go out. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say.
Isn't Javi already on the IL?
yeah, here's thumb.
But I think the Giants are just going to be really good again. And a lot of people thought, I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to win 107 games again, but I maybe that gap in the NL West is going to be a little smaller than we all thought it was going to be.
I think, Mark, and this is no cap. No cap.
Okay.
I think the Giants are going to win 130 games this year.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm capping. But I do think that the Giants keeping afloat with the pace they were last year, I think it has almost nothing to do with their offense because it can be average and suffice.
Because that pitching staff is.
Yeah, they're turning into one of the teams where, like, if they sign a guy pitching wise, you should just kind of trust that they know something that we don't. It's happened with Kevin Gausman. It happened with Anthony Discofani, with Alex Wood, with this year through his first start at least, Alex Cobb.
Yep.
Who similarly to Gausman, has had the whole, the fact that his splitter is his primary pitch, and they've figured that one out. Looks fantastic in his first start. As long as Carlos Rodon is healthy. He's one of the 15 or so best starting pitchers in baseball.
Same goes for Logan Webb. I think Webb is the better pitcher on that staff for sure.
I do not agree.
I think Rodon's great, but Logan Webb has impressed me so much in the time that since he came up that I really do think he's a true ace and will be the true ace of that staff for a long time. And I think this is the coming out like the postseason last year was a coming out party. Now we're just going to see it over the course of a season. The guy is phenomenal.
Dude, shout out to him for coming out. That takes a lot of courage.
We're going to find him, Mark. What do you think he will?
Oh, yeah, for the OnlyFans page.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
one? Logan Webb?
Yeah.
We got him. Don't worry about it.
Logan Webb got me shooting my web. Am I right, everybody?
Right.
All right, that was
Shout out tomorrow the fact that the Giants play a doubleheader and it's Alex Cobb and Logan Webb, so it's Cobb Webb.
nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Sick.
Yeah. I'll be watching that game during my class that I have tomorrow because I have nothing else to do. So
Hell yeah.
I'll be watching Alex Cobb start with intent. So yeah, baseball is cool unless you ask Josh, and then it's terrible.
Yeah, isn't there another Giants pitcher that people thought were good last year? They got big money to go to Toronto, and he's Dookie.
That was Kevin
Alex
Gossman. He's very much
Yeah.
not been Dookie, but
No.
The rhetoric around him, from what I'm hearing on the board, is that he throws meatballs. He's no good.
who's saying that? Are the streets saying that?
It's the streets.
I would not trust the streets.
It's the nerfy streets. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I got you.
How about
Let's
the
move
old
on.
men, Verlander and Kershaw, really lighting it up this year?
Oh yeah. Oh sure.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, Justin Verlander. That's me.
Did he pitch tonight?
Laying it up.
No, he
No.
pitched the other night. He threw 8 scoreless against Seattle.
Not too
Yeah, that
bad.
guy's hashtag good at baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm not so sure about that though.
let's move. Oh, that you owe your life to that man. To the hardwood, right? Talk
Nice.
about some NBA playoff basketball and some stuff that we've learned, as well as some picks moving forward. By the way, tonight while we were recording this, Jalen Brunson dropped 40, and the Mavs beat the Jazz without Luka Doncic. So that was a cool, interesting, and fun development.
The Jazz are
Um,
dead.
What I've learned through the first weekend of the NBA postseason, I think, is that genuinely, I do think that, how do I word this without sounding like a silly guy?
The Celtics are the best team in the NBA. Yes, you are
Mhm.
correct.
It actually had nothing to do with the Celtics.
No, no, you already said it. It's fine. Your face.
No, it had nothing to do with the Celtics. The Celtics have their hands more than full in the first round here. Don't let a twisty, twirly buzzer beater fool you. They should have lost
enjoy
that game,
this.
but it is what it is. I think it's honestly just solidifying to me more that I just think the Sixers might be the best team in the East.
Yeah, I think so. After like 4 or 5 teams, I'd put them as the best. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to quantify it. And also, by the way, what I told you guys in the chat the other day is 100% true. Watching Miami go absolute bug nutty on this Atlanta Hawks team is going to make me so insufferable for the rest of the postseason. And to be fair, if they end up playing Philadelphia in the second round, I got a few friends here in the program that are from Philly, so we're having a good time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Basically. But I will say that I think, and again, maybe it's the opposition that they're facing. That certainly can come into it. But I think the bottom half of the Eastern bracket is a little more chaotic, if you will. Partially because on one side, Milwaukee's depth, I think, is still an issue that come to bear in the first game of the postseason against Chicago. And then on the other side, you have two teams in Brooklyn and Boston who I think it's the most interesting, like 2-7 matchup you could possibly ask for, of course. But also, I think both teams have the problem of which they're like physically incapable of closing out games properly. Like,
Yeah.
we saw this we've seen it a few times with the Celtics this season, and they did it again in game 1, in which they were up big going into halftime and then promptly squandered it in the third quarter in a game which, again, I stress, they probably should have lost in big quotation marks. But the reason I put that in quotation marks is because, on the other hand, in a game in which they came back, tied the game, and then took the lead late in the fourth quarter, Brooklyn still managed to find a way, even with 2 of the 10 best scorers in the NBA, to fuck it up. That's because outside of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, until this team has Ben Simmons, the team ain't good.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Bruce Brown's a bucket.
I will say, Bruce Brown, good player. All right, I'm sorry.
No,
The
I'm happy
overall
with it.
team
he
ain't
stinks.
good. is what I'm trying to say.
I'd be happy with Bruce Brown taking the lion's share of shots. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, make things a lot easier for Boston.
Yeah.
But so I think, and look, maybe when those things end up coming to bear in later matchups, maybe they won't matter, right? But I think specifically with those two teams having really shaky play down the stretch could come to hurt them. Obviously, one of them it's going to come to hurt them in this series, and then the other one we'll see where it goes. And then Milwaukee again, them not having, I think, a clearly defined rotation beyond their top three players, especially if either, this is going to sound crazy in the year of our Lord 2022, if either Bobby Portis or Brook Lopez gets hurt, this team is done. Like they need the both of them healthy to maintain a proper rotation, because otherwise Grayson Allen is going to be starting for the team. And that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good for the Bucks. So I don't think any of these teams are without flaw, but I do think if Glenn Rivers could get out of the way, with the whole DeAndre Jordan versus Paul Reed thing, Paul Reed being the clearly better player, but Glenn Rivers deciding to play DeAndre Jordan for 20 plus minutes a game is simply an anomaly that I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally, one of the things I've noticed at least, and again, maybe it's because they're playing the Raptors, who I don't think are a bad team. Obviously, they're incredibly well coached. They got to the 5 seed for a reason, right? Like this is Nick Nurse is just going to keep doing this, right? Like it's not, there's no fluke or anything like that. Maybe they just match up really well, right? But to me, Philadelphia seems like they're the most complete team in the East so far through the first weekend, for whatever the hell that means.
After now 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the problem for Philadelphia is they don't have a second good player on their team. They have Joel Embiid, and then they have a bunch of losers who just go out and just stand around and pass it to Joel Embiid.
Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey.
Actually, Tyrese Maxey's pretty good.
Tyrese Maxey's become a baller since they got rid of that bum Seth Curry.
My biggest issue is that when James Harden's on the floor, it's really hard for that team to be good because he's just not good at basketball.
To be fair, James Harden's left-handed, and Austin immediately has a bias.
That's fair.
That.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that could be true too. There's just something about a guy who can't make shots, can't pass the ball, can't play defense, has no mental awareness of the game.
Is it
really makes me think he's not good.
Is it a slight to say that someone can't play defense in today's game for you? To say oh, that guy can't play defense. I mean, is that really a knock?
Yes.
Who can play defense? There's a 1 to 2 players on every team who can play defense well.
Marcus Smart can play defense.
We're doing the old man bit.
Is this
Nobody
a bit?
plays defense anymore.
No, yeah.
Playing good defense is relative to the rest of the league. So there's going to be people good at it, average at it, and bad at it.
Yeah, there's 1 to 2 players per team. That's
there can't only be 5 players in the NBA who are good at defense. I mean, that's just not how stats work.
Well, yeah, sure. Relative to garbage, there's going to be a couple of bright spots.
Oh yeah, dude. Mm-hmm. Well, why don't you go watch some more Jordan highlights and watch the defense he was playing against?
Watch Jordan snipe from deep from down
beyond the arc
in college.
Right.
The thing he was known for in a time in which the 3-point line wasn't a thing in college basketball.
Yeah, they were developing it. He was.
Yeah.
They developed it around.
He was the purveyor of the 3-point shot in college basketball. Yeah.
They added it so he could average more points. You see, they didn't expect him to go to the league. They thought he would come back for year number 4.
Right. I'll get mine out of the way pretty quick here, Mark, if you don't mind.
Hey, go right ahead.
I got a couple of big knocks.
Wait, can I guess first?
What? Go for it.
Quote: basketball sucks. I'm waiting for football.
No, I'm primed. I'm primed.
Okay.
Playoff basketball got me bricked up right now.
I was just wondering.
I actually have a future on the Sixers to win it all. So lit. And because of that, I'll say that my collision course that I have set in my mind is Sixers and Suns. And spoiler though, for me, I don't think anyone's going to beat the Suns. I think the Suns are the best team in the league, and it's really not even close in my mind. But that's not the fun thing that I'm looking forward to. The fun thing that I'm looking forward to is the drama after the season, because Donovan Mitchell is not going to be on the Utah Jazz. That dude does not care for Utah, in my mind. I think he is totally out of it. I don't think they win this series. I think he wants nothing to do with Utah, and I'm really excited to see what goes on. He's under contract until 2026.
They just signed an extension last year.
Future Detroit Piston.
Yeah, I don't see any way he's still a Jazz member after the season. I don't know. He looks apathetic at the end of games. Doesn't want to close it out. I don't know. I don't like it. And they just lost. I mean, losing to the Mavericks without Luka is honestly just pathetic. At any stage,
simply put, this is what playing for a poverty franchise will do to you.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm not arguing that he shouldn't be. This isn't
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
This happens. But I'm excited to see what can happen, because, like, generally speaking, most sports would be like, oh, well, that sucks. Guys just got to stick through it. But that's not the case anymore. You just
newest member of the Miami Heat, Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
No.
Could be.
Yes.
Listen, he is best friends with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and I want nothing to do with it. No, I was going to say, I want nothing to do with him, because that's having three of the same player, except he's not.
Yeah, they're the Spider-Man.
I would just swap Jaylen Brown for Mitchell, because Jaylen Brown's also useless.
False.
Brown. I'm sorry. I guess I watched a different game the other night.
Jaylen Brown is good.
Let me guess. Mark, let me guess your takeaway. The Celtics, baby.
It has nothing to do with the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Wow.
The Minnesota Timberwolves are a wagon.
A
wagon?
I'm all in on the T-Wolves.
I thought you'd be one of those activists going down the game.
I think
I learned the context behind that, by the way. I finally learned that the context behind the activists that were going on the court. Apparently, the owner of the Timberwolves, who after this year won't be the owner of the Timberwolves anymore because they're selling the team. The owner of the Timberwolves apparently owns some chicken farms, and to say has done unsavory things with them would be
putting it lightly.
Wait.
Kind way of putting it.
Okay. Wait, so, more than the usual slaughter that happens at a chicken farm?
So this goes with it, right? Apparently, and this is hearsay, this is what I was reading. Apparently, one of his farms had to be shut down momentarily because his chickens were spreading avian flu amongst one another. So instead of, normally they would just slaughter the chickens and move on. Instead of the normal way in which they were slaughtering him, they closed the ventilation in the farm and then just let them all suffocate to death.
So not necessarily humane.
Yeah. Like I said, to call it unsavory would be kind.
So as I was
man's
saying,
record in terms of animal rights.
I'm saying this guy can put together a franchise.
The Grizzlies are a wagon.
I will say, I think the Timberwolves are probably a big man away from being good.
Oh, you be quiet. You be quiet. Come on, my man, like that.
No, if they had like a JaVale McGee instead of whatever loser they got, I honestly think they'd be like the one.
You
seed
disgust me.
Dude, the amount of times I've shit talked JaVale McGee this year when I see him in a game and they go, "Oh, that was pretty good." I mean, JaVale McGee,
he's been good. He's been really good for the
He's a perfectly fine rotation big. Like honestly,
yeah. He's got 3 rings already.
Yeah.
Jesus.
JaVale McGee is
that guy's a Hall of Famer.
No,
Hall of Famer. No. Yes, he is. He's gonna have 4 rings.
He's definitely got a better shot at the Hall of Fame than that loser that plays center for the Timberwolves.
All right.
Enough of the Karl Anthony Towns slander. But no, I think they win the series. To be completely honest with you, I think Memphis is as great of a team as they are. It's just like I think it's next year. I think they're a year early. We were saying this about the Suns last year, and they went to the finals, so I could be wrong. But, I think they're just a year early, and I think the Timberwolves are just that offense when it gets going is so hard to stop. You have 3 guys that on any night could give you 30, 35 points. And
2.5. If you're including D'Angelo Russell in that group, then
he could. He was an all-star.
He could. Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell was an all-star, and now he's the 3rd option on the Timberwolves. Like, this guy, he is a very, very solid to really good NBA player.
No, I kid.
Yeah.
I joke.
But if you get all 3 of those guys going on the same night, I don't know who's gonna stop that offense.
It's going to be really interesting to see where the team goes moving forward because you have 2 legitimate superstars on the team, and somehow they're going to manage to fuck it up.
Yeah, well, that's what the Timberwolves do. But, I'm just saying I think they take down a 2 seed and then probably lose in the next series.
Who would they play? They'd play the winner of Golden State and Denver.
Oh, I could see them stealing that too.
They play the winner of that series.
Yeah. If... I picked Denver to win that series going in, and my prediction looks
yucky. That was a bad idea. I will never bet against a fully healthy Warriors team in the playoffs. All right.
Yeah, it's that one was that was dumb of me, but no, I really like the Timberwolves, and I think, like I said, I think they win this series, and maybe just maybe Karl Anthony Towns will start to get a little respect from scrubs like Austin.
Yeah, I agree.
Hard to respect a guy that's soft.
To close out the show,
like his entire family died and he still played.
Oh,
no,
that
is true.
Throw him a pity party.
It surely doesn't make him good at the sport, but it is.
No, the 25-13 does.
Hey.
I could put up 25 and 13 in today's game.
Hey.
Yeah, get him.
Everyone be quiet. All right. To close out the show, we're going to be jumping ahead, making some blanket predictions for the NBA Finals. Maybe we're doing this a little premature because we're going to have another show next week in which we'll probably talk about similar topics, but
do it again.
Who the hell knows? Yeah, we'll do it again next week, right? So through one weekend of the NBA playoffs, I want you to tell me. We'll just go with finals predictions. Tell me the teams that you have in the finals. I don't even want to know your NBA finals. And I don't want to know your NBA champion prediction. I don't want to know that. We'll talk about that next week, right? After we wrap up. A couple of the first series might be done. We'll talk about that next week. That'll be next week's podcast. I'm going to say the 40th time.
I was going to say, are we doing it when? 2 weeks?
Next week. Next week.
Oh, next week. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you tomorrow
night. But we're going to talk about the teams that we have in the finals. My pick is going to be the same as Mark's pick. Mark's already said his pick. Mark said Phoenix and Philadelphia.
No, I didn't.
That was me.
Oh, that was Josh. My bad. Mark is, of course, going to have Boston versus Boston. Even though
I do have Sun Celtics. I'll just say it because it's strictly because the first 2 series are revenge series. We get to beat the Nets and then beat the Bucks, and then the 76ers don't scare me at all because they are softer than chicken shit when they play the Celtics.
Yeah, just wait till Robert Williams tries to defend Embiid. Oh,
no,
wait,
I have
Grant Williams.
Not even going to give Miami a chance. That's messed up.
I will never. Oh no, because I don't think Miami's that good.
Gross.
I will never be scared of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Okay, first of all, let's cut it with this Heat slander right here. How could a team be the number 1 seed in the conference for the entire second half of a season and not be good?
I don't think they're bad. I don't
think they're bad. I just think they're probably the 7th best team in the East right now.
Okay.
I think they're the best coached team in the East. I'll say that right now, hands down. I don't know that they have the best. I don't know that they have the best rotation of guys, but I mean, with Spoelstra running the X's and O's, a
big part of this is me thinking that Kyle Lowry is completely washed.
Yeah, that's just factually incorrect, but go off, I guess. It's fun to say that he has a dumper, which is
I'm
true.
not out on the Heat at all, really. I just didn't. I was just going at Mark for saying the Celtics comment. Like I said, I actually like the Heat a lot. I think they're scary. I think Tyler Hero too has been low key balling the second half of the season. I mean, he's just dropping. He could
It
drop
wasn't
20
even just the
points.
second half. He had just a really good season. Didn't he average like 23 this year?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and he's going to win Sixth Man of the Year, and it's going to be silly because it's my least favorite thing about NBA awards is that I said it on the radio show last week is I think there should be a minutes cap on who should be eligible for Sixth Man of the Year.
The Lou Will rule, yes.
Yeah. Tyler Hero's played like 33 minutes a game this year. That's simply too much for someone to be considered for that award. But then again, as a member of the Miami Heat, I'm not one to complain. As he is a member of the Miami Heat, I should say. I obviously have no affiliation with the team. But
you're not on the roster anymore?
No.
Roster?
Yeah, they cut me. They gave me a 10-day.
Yeah,
I couldn't quite hack it. So they.
Oh, okay. You could sit there with Udonis.
Even in today's NBA,
nothing.
Yeah. I couldn't play defense, which means I should have had a good spot on the roster. But,
yeah.
But anywho, I think the most interesting series of this entire playoffs might be the imaginary series in my head between Phoenix and Golden State in the Western Conference Finals. Like I can just imagine that being like the coolest 7-game theater that basketball has to offer. But even outside of that, I will be picking Phoenix and Philadelphia in the NBA Finals as well.
All right. I'm gonna go with clean sweep on the West Coast. Phoenix for me, coach of the year against a team who doesn't have a coach. I don't know if a team's ever won an NBA Finals without a coach. I'm gonna go the Brooklyn Nets.
I got some live trivia right now, real quick. Actually,
awesome.
Just for funsies, Tommy Pham needs a triple right now for the cycle for the Reds.
Damn.
Against the Padres. Yeah, he's lighting up his former team. Mark, or anyone, I guess. When was the last Reds cycle?
Scooter Gennett.
No, he had 4 dingers. That's it. It's hard to hit for the cycle when all you do is hit bombs.
7 for 7 with 4 home runs, a single, a double, and a triple.
Sorry.
It's the greatest game in MLB history.
Yeah. No, not hit. I'll give you
Barry
a decade.
Larkin?
Even it was in the 80s.
So not Barry.
Not Barry Larkin. Sorry.
Eric Davis.
That's right. June 2nd, 1989. Mark.
That's trivia point for Mark. Good job.
That was pretty much all I had for the 80s Reds. And I was like, he was fast. He could do that.
Yeah.
He got some wheels.
They showed his triple. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Just...
All right. Well, we'll come back next week and talk some shop about probably basketball as well. We're getting into the summer months here. Oh, actually, you know what we're doing in 10 days? Well, what I assume we'll be doing in 10 days. Assuming Josh and Austin are available as well as Mark. We'll be live streaming the draft again this year. April 28th is the opening night of the NFL draft.
I think we're going to be available, Austin.
That's unfortunate.
I think we are, I said. I think we are.
Oh, okay. Oh. I thought you just said, I don't think we are. Anywho, we'll discuss afterwards. But 10 days from now, the NFL draft, hopefully we'll be doing a stream. Maybe next week's show will be about that with all those, right? That's probably a good idea, is for next week's show to be about the NFL draft.
Yes.
But that's next week. For this week, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hot Stove Pod. It's at Hot Stove Pod on Twitter. YouTube channel, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that jazz. Check out all the content that I plugged at the very top of the show. If you want to learn or if you want to remember what that is, go back to the top of the show. I'm not going to list all of it right now. But other than that, we'll be back next week to probably, like I said, talk about the draft. And we'll see you guys then.